Namaste to all. Very beautiful question from a Muslim brother. Brother, I am challenging to you that you cannot find the word Om in the entire Rigveda. There is no mention of Om in the Rigveda, so I cannot accept that Rigveda is from Almighty God. It's not the point of whether somebody is accepting or not. We must always understand that the fundamental knowledge is very simple. Knowledge is never gained unless it is given. If I am able to speak English, it is because I have learnt English in the school. If I am able to speak Tamil, it is because I have learnt Tamil from my parents. If I am not given the knowledge of a language, I will never be able to communicate in that language. Similarly, if I am not taught in the school the fundamentals of physics or science or any other thing, I will not be able to understand it and explain to it to others. Similarly, if I have not learnt Vedas from my Acharya, I will not be able to explain Veda mantras or any other shlokas or sutras etc. to you. Similarly, when we go to the first start of the universe, unless and otherwise the knowledge about everything in this universe, about the purpose of our human body, purpose of our life, karma, philosophy, everything in this universe has to be explained by that Almighty God because He creates the universe. So God explains everything of this universe, including the purpose of our life, Yoga Vidya, Brahma Vidya, how to do worship, everything God explains only in the Vedas. And that knowledge of Vedas is emanated inside the heart of a Rishi. It is not written in the form of book. Because book will disappear, book will get burnt. Like Aurangzeb burnt so many books. Books can get burnt, it can get corrupted, it can be mistranslated. Whereas Vedas knowledge cannot be because it is Nirakara Jnana. Almighty God is formless, similarly Vedas are also formless. That is why we call it as knowledge of Almighty God. So there is no Om in the Rigveda is not a right statement. Starting from the first mantra until the last mantra of every Veda mantra has Om inside it. And my Acharya has beautifully written the book Srimad Bhagavad Gita, a Vedic Rahasya. I was going through that book. And I thought of making the answer. Instead of replying to him, I thought of making a video to explain everybody the fundamentals of Vedas. And God says in Yajurveda, Iti Shushrumadhiranam. You must listen the knowledge about this world, knowledge about the spirituality, Brahma Vidya from Dhir Purush, from yogis, tapasvis, rishi, munis. And that is called as knowledge. Listening my video is not knowledge to you. It is a bookish knowledge because that knowledge is not my knowledge. It is a bookish knowledge. I have studied in the books, I have listened from my Acharya, I am trying to replicate to you. That is not a realized knowledge by me. Whereas when we go to Dhir Purush, when we go to an Acharya, Samadhist Yogi, it becomes the knowledge because he has realized that from the Almighty God, because of his own tapasya, because of his moksha or Samadhi stage. So, first let's understand Sri Krishna, what he says in Gita 17/24. In short, Sri Krishna says to Arjuna, Hey Arjuna, Tasmad Om It Yudahritaya Yajnadana Tapah Kriyaha Pravartante Vidanoktaha Satatam Brahmavadinam. He says to Arjuna, Brahmavadinam. Brahmavadinam means those people who are philosophers of Vedas, who gives Upadesh of Veda mantras, who teaches you Brahma Vidya, those Acharyas, Rishi, Muni, Tapasvis, Vidanoktaha Yajnadana Tapah Kriyaha. They have made a simple fundamental rule from the Vedas that whenever you do yajna, whenever you do any other kriya of Vedic origin, for example dan or tapasya or doing chanting of Veda mantras or doing yajna by putting ahutis in the burning fire, satatam om iti. Every time, satatam means all the time. Om, they start their activities by chanting Om. Iti means that Om is none other than Almighty God's name. He is Almighty God. Om is Almighty God Himself. Udahritaya pravartante. Udahrita means by chanting the name, by chanting the Om only, pravartante, they start any activity. Even that's why my Acharya always says, when you get up from the bed, chant Om in the mind, chant Om 3 times and then chant Gayatri mantra and then get up from the bed. When you go and sit for every day Agnihotra, chant Om inside the mind with the meaning of Om. You can go and find the meaning of Om in my playlist under the playlist Havan Yajna Homa, where my Acharya himself has explained the meaning of Om in Hindi. I have tried to explain it in English from my Acharya's writing from the Vedmandir.com. So Sri Krishna says this is fundamental, that whenever you chant a Ved mantra, the unwritten rule of the Rishi Muni Tapasvis is to start with the name of Almighty God, Om, because the Vedas emanate from Almighty God. This is what Sri Krishna says. So the question again that can come into your mind is, Sri Krishna says in Gita, but where is it is in Rigveda or where it is in Veda, where it is shown that Om has to be chanted. So my Acharya has explained in this explanation of this shloka, my Acharya explains Atharveda mantra 10 by 8 by 10, where the fundamental rules is given by Almighty God, not written, is given. The mantra says, Tva Tam Prichami. The mantra is explained in such a way, God is giving a knowledge that a disciple is asking to an Acharya, Tva Tam Prichami, hey Acharya, I am obediently asking to you. That Prichami means I am asking to you. My doubt is, Tam, with what stuti I should start everything. So the Acharya replies in that mantra, that is, God is giving a knowledge in such a way that it is a dialogue between an Acharya and a disciple. Please understand that. The knowledge of Vedas emanates inside the Rishis. But the knowledge is given in such a way that this is a dialogue between a disciple and an Acharya. So Acharya is telling to the disciple, Ya purastat yujyate cha, ya paschat, ya vishwatah yujyate cha, ya sarvatah. So Acharya is saying that purastat yujyate, that whenever you start a Ved mantra, purastat, whenever you start it, or paschat, whenever you end it, you must use that stuti, that name of Almighty God, who is Vishwatah Yujyate, who is available everywhere, omnipresent, and Sarvatah, and that is, He is available. And this rule, what is told here, is applicable in this universe. It was applicable in the previous universe, it will be applicable in the future universes to come. So whenever we start a Ved mantra, whenever we end a Ved mantra, you must chant that name of Almighty God, which indicates that Almighty God. What is that? God says in this mantra, the Acharya says to disciple, Yaya yajnah prangtayate sa richam katama. That is, the Acharya says to the disciple, Yaya, that indication of Almighty God is also used in the yajna, and because of that Almighty God only, the knowledge of yajna has come. The knowledge of yajna has been given to the humanity because of that Almighty God. The indication is mentioned as Sa Richam Katamaha. Sa here means it is coming as a pronoun with reference to the previous mantras. Sa, it is indicating to Om, that is Almighty God. And that is the Stuti Vani, that is the name of Almighty God you must use whenever purastat, whenever you start a Ved mantra, you must use that word Om, and whenever you end the Ved mantra also, you must use the word Om. And that Om, that Almighty God is Vishwatah, He is everywhere, He is omnipresent, and He is the one who makes this rule, which is applicable in the past, in the present, in the future. That means even in the future universes, whenever somebody chants a Ved mantra, they have to start the Ved mantra with the Om. So Rigveda does not have Om is a wrong statement, because the first mantra of Rigveda also will start from Om. Agnim mide purohitam yajnasya devam ritwijam hotaram ratnadatamam Om. We start the mantra with Om, we must end the mantra with Om. But when we put ahutis in burning fire, we start the mantra with Om, we end the mantra with Swaha. Or we can end the mantra with Om Swaha. That is, both is okay. So the start of every mantra has hidden Om inside it, because it is originating from Almighty God. This is clarified in the Atharveda mantra 10 by 8 by 10. This is the fundamental rule applicable for all the Veda mantras. Every Ved mantra has to be started with Om only. And finally, my Acharya writes Kathama, kam dhatu. The mantra says Richam Kathama. This word Om is Anandadayak, is Kam Dhatu means Anand Dhata. So that Almighty God is the giver of all the pleasures of the world, all the happiness, all the sukh. So we must start the Vedas with Om, and also we must start any activity by chanting Om. We must end any activity by chanting Om. When, like, in South India there is a practice that they put a number 2 and 2 underlines, that is indicating to Vinayak, which is not right. God says in the Vedas we must start the activity by putting Om, by chanting Om. You don't need to write Om, but you can chant Om inside your mind and take the blessings of Almighty God, or remember the Almighty God and do that activity. So fundamental is, if the mantra does not contain Om, also the mantra is inside the mantra, the Om is already present, whether it is written or not written. So I am challenging you that Om is not present is because that person has not listened to Vedas from Acharya. Is because that person or anybody else has not studied books like this. Acharya has explained Vedic Rahasya of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So here Sri Krishna also says that whenever Rishi Muni does any yajna, they start with Om. That knowledge of Sri Krishna is coming from where? From this Atharvaveda mantra. So when Rigveda, Om is not there, if somebody says it, because he is ignorant of the knowledge of the Vedas. That's why God always says, do not pick and choose the Vedas. Do not cut a portion of Vedas and then challenge somebody. Understand the Vedas in full aspect. Because half knowledge is always dangerous. Understand the full knowledge. Go to an Acharya, be humble, and try to listen Vedas until your last breath, because everything you cannot learn in one life. Until your last breath, understand the Vedas. You will surely understand new things every day. So one of the time you will also listen from that Acharya that God says in Atharvaveda that you must chant Om before the mantra, you must chant Om after the mantra. So Rigveda, whether it contains Om or not doesn't matter, it has to be started with Om and ended with Om only. So this is the fundamental knowledge of Vedas we must all understand. Instead of merely challenging that my religion is superior, the fundamental is very simple. If you believe that Islam is from, or Quran is from Almighty God, please go ahead. But do not try to find fault with the Rigveda, because you do not know Rigveda. You do not know Acharya. You have not done any tapasya. You have not done any yajna. You have not listened any Vedas from an Acharya, from a Samadhist yogi. So do not challenge without understanding the full concept. After you understand the full concept, you will never challenge, because you will become so much humble and you will become a God-fearing person. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.